Welcome back to Bits and Boards. I'm Anthony Krolikowski, and today we have an upcoming card show on the show today. And by the time this episode airs, it should be about a couple days before the show, if my math is correct. So I'm going to introduce you to our two event organizers, Alexis Tasso and Nick Ramirez. So first, thanks for being with us and taking some time to sit down in our wonderful room and just explain real quick what exactly PokeCon is.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
PokeCon is a card show convention, really looking to bring in people of all fandoms and just create a good experience for families, make memories there. I personally love to collect, specifically cards, a little bit of everything. And I go to all the card shows around us. So I'm really looking to make something different than what is around us. And I love the card shows around us. But we have a couple things that definitely make us stick out from others.
Yeah. And I think if I go to the next picture right here, we got a little bit of information. You got two voice actors. Just tell me a little bit about how that came to be. And it seems like from other shows I've seen, we have had voice actors at shows. You would think of like Comic-Con and those sorts of events for people like that to come in. But how'd that come to be and what makes that exciting for you?
Yeah, I think we've just both combined. We've worked and been to so many cons, literally around the states, and we've made so many connections with agents, voice actors, all of these people, and we kind of just use those connections to try to bring them to the show and make it something different. Because there's not many card shows around here that bring guests in, and I think it's cool. Like he said, I think it adds to the whole experience of it and the dynamic for families and stuff to have, the voice of Meowth coming there. You grow up listening to all these voices and you get to meet them and get stuff signed, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm not a voice actor, so I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try, but I had to say it. So just give me a little bit more background on specifically what this event is going to have and what it's going to entail with the kind of stuff and who's going to be there.
Yeah. So we already have about a little bit less than 40 vendors confirmed for the event. But we're going to be having our voice actors, Matthew Sussman and Haven Paschal. I think I might have butchered her last name, but I keep trying. They're great. Haven voices Serena from Pokemon, as well as a bunch of other characters and Pokemon. And Matthew voices a bunch of characters, but specifically Meowth, which I'm a big fan of. That's right. And can't wait for them to join us. And then also something special we're doing for our show is everybody who comes is going to get either a free Meowth or a free Serena card, and they can choose to get that signed at the event, or if not, they're going home with a free card. So just off admission, you're getting something with that.
Yeah, we're also going to have a ton of photo ops for people. We're going to have someone dressed up as Pikachu, Eevee. It's going to be pretty cool. There's going to be a lot of different activities that we're going to have for families who, even if you're just not coming to buy cards, you're still going to have some stuff to do.
Yeah, that's totally what we're trying to do. I feel like me personally, I always head to the card shows around us, and I love taking my nieces, and they love going. But most of the memories and experiences that are created from that come from the vendors, not really the show promoter itself. The vendors are amazing people, and they really are so nice to the kids and everybody. And we just wanted to put on a show that makes it so that the show is also providing some memories and free stuff, free events, things to do on a Sunday.
When it comes to the two of you organizing cons and events and card shows, just give me that experience of that resume per se.
So this is actually our first full show we've done ourselves. We've done, honestly, probably almost 100 different conventions now. We just got back from Rhode Island Comic-Con.
Yeah, we did New York Comic-Con.
We do it every year.
Yeah, we haven't done a card show before. We normally do just more Comic-Cons with celebrities, voice actors, and wrestlers, stuff like that. So this is our first time actually doing a card show, and it's ours and the companies and
bringing it into Albany, where we're from. Because me personally, I always feel like Albany is such it's the capital of New York, but there's not really always too much going on from weekend to weekend.
There was that famous NCAA line, if you're familiar with what's there to do in Albany.
Yeah.
And one specific mayor wasn't too excited, but now there's PokeCon, right? Now is it PokeCon? I want to make sure I get that right.
I say PokeCon.
Yeah, I say PokeCon as well.
PokeCon.
I've heard some people say PokeCon.
Well, that makes sense, I guess, because there's no accent mark over the E, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, first isn't a bad thing, right? It just shows that you're putting yourself out there, you're taking a risk, and you want to share your passion. So I know you kind of talked about it already, Nick, but for the two of you or just Alexis, just kind of just give us the background of what you like about collecting or gaming or just the whole mix there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big collector in general. It's not necessarily Pokemon. I'm a big video game person, Funko Pops. I've played some card games like Marvel Champions, stuff like that. Like I grew up loving all that stuff. Love all the nerd stuff. I love going to cons, meeting my favorite voice actors. It's just always been like, I don't know. For me, it was like growing up with my dad doing all that stuff. So like now to get to do it and have it be my job is pretty cool. So to like actually like put it into motion and do something with it and get other families and stuff involved, it's pretty cool.
And Nick, I know from when we talked earlier, you said you're more of a collector than a player. So put that into perspective for me as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of a collector. I haven't really touched much Pokemon playing besides with my nieces and nephews, and it's not really no tournament rules or anything like that. I'm big into collecting cards, like specific artists and like getting autographs. I'm a big wrestling fan, so always meeting different wrestlers that I watched as a kid were always my favorite thing to do at conventions. But even just Pokemon, I've loved Pokemon since I was a kid. Have a Pokemon tattoo, and like I love that the interest in Pokemon has grown so much in the past couple of years, whether that be from the stock bros, investor bros, or if not, but just anything on highlighting it. I think it's awesome.
Talk to me about now the vendors that you're going to be having there. How many there's going to be? Is there still kind of a sign-up process to that? People are still interested. I know, like I said, this episode will air a couple of days before the event. We're filming about a week or so before the event, but where are we at right now when it comes to that?
So we're at a little bit less than 40 tables. We still are accepting vendors. We want to get more. We have a lot of card vendors already and a lot of, we have like a couple of Etsy shop people that have like stickers and keychains, but I really want to get more people that are either artists, either people that are just toy like resellers or any. I've been reaching out to a lot of local shops because I really want to involve the community and everything and like want to touch that part and like get connected with everybody. So, I mean, we're still opening and accepting vendors.
Yeah,
and
we're trying to make it about like everybody in the community, not just Pokemon, even though it is a Pokemon con. We want a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. If I click on the right one here, we do have, there's, the collectibles in there. You got the Labubus and the Funko Pops
Yes.
and the One Piece cards. And I know you said, you've collected kind of more of the variety of stuff compared to just the Pokemon. And what are those other things that you're going to be seeing here from vendors?
Yeah, we're going to be hoping to get like maybe some Funko booths in there. Like he said, there's a really cool like sticker vendor in there. Just anything, toys, plushies, other card games. I know like the One Piece card game is pretty big right now. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. There's definitely a lot more tables still open and available if anybody wants to get a vendor table out there.
Yeah, I think we have on the flyer here, and a couple of these flyers has the website right there.
Yeah.
And that should be all the information for if you want to reach out.
Take you right there.
Yeah. Perfect.
As well, PokeCon on Instagram. Check it out. Follow us. Make sure you don't miss out on anything because we do have some other upcoming shows already announced. We have a Christmas show happening at Washington Ave Armory as well on December 20th. And as well in Kingston, February 1st, we have a PokeCon happening there already.
Yeah, we're trying to take this outside of Albany as well as making it a thing in Albany, but we definitely want to bring it everywhere we can.
Yeah, and we already have a guest announced for our Kingston show. It's Roger Parsons. He's the narrator of all the Pokemon series, all the movies and everything, so he's that voice you hear. So it's going to be really awesome.
It seems like you already have a mindset where you're setting yourself up for success and you're not even thinking about failure, which I think is great to have. In starting here at the Washington Ave Armory, why did you pick this location, or how did you find out about it?
We kind of just picked it. We definitely did our scouting, looked at places, just connections with different places to have the con at, and where we've seen stuff done before. Maybe not like a con, but other stuff. And it just was kind of like the perfect space. There's a good space for the guests. It's big.
I think one of the main driving things is, too, there's so many people live in Albany, and a lot of people can be able to walk or take the bus or bike over. So that's really what we're focusing on is we really just want to get in touch with the community and bring stuff in and make good memories in a safe space.
Yeah. I've touched on a couple of different card shops, and they run play Pokemon events and other card games where you go into a tournament scene. And obviously with the card show, it's more focused on the selling and stuff like that, right? But Has that been anything that the two of you have explored? I know you said you don't really play, but have you interacted with people in that space who have had the more tournament aspect, or is that on your horizon or on your mind when it comes to the community as a whole?
Yeah, so actually we were in talks to actually have a tournament, a league official tournament at the show at our original date, but it just didn't work out, unfortunately, and it doesn't work for this date. But we're looking in the future to actually having a league official tournament at the show.
Yeah, I am interested too because I've talked to VDO now and then, which is an esports arena in Manans, and they just started up their Play Pokemon events. And I know it can take a while to, one, get product, and then two, also have your events. What is that process like to, and I think it's interesting to hear it from like the card event sector instead of just like a card shop per se that's more mobile. How does that all work?
So personally, we know somebody that hosts a lot of the league events in the area. And we're working with him to really he's the one handling a lot of our tournament stuff because it's not really our field exactly of the tournament stuff. So we really trust him with it. Just unfortunately for this specific show, we're unable to do the tournaments app. Yeah. But he's the one helping us.
Yeah. But that's where like our connections come into play for this. Like we don't want it to just be like us running everything, like the whole show. Like we want like other people in the community to like get involved with us and like, have this card shop run this or these people come in and do this. And that's where we want to stand out and be a little different. Yeah.
Just before we go to break here, touching more now maybe on the two of you as collectors, just tell me real quick, what's something in your collection that you're either really proud of or just makes you smile or something of value, anything like that?
You want to go first or me?
I don't know.
I already got one in my head.
It's so tough. So like I said earlier, like we work with a lot of like voice actors and celebrities and stuff. And I wouldn't really, like, I love autographs. I have a lot of autographs. I wouldn't really put this in my collection, but I love just like meeting people and like getting a photo with somebody and just like talking to them. I think that's what I take out of it. I mean, I collect a ton of stuff. I don't think I have anything crazy per se. I mean, I have like definitely autographs from like people I love. Like I'm a big Halo person, so I have like the voice of Halo, and I have like Mortal Kombat autographs and stuff that I really love. But I don't know. I think what I take away is actually like meeting the people, and that's what I like about the hobby.
I do love that.
Yeah.
But also for me personally, I love how my Yuka Mori collection is coming along. It is a specific Pokemon artist, and I'm quite proud of it because I've been just growing it by just going to different card shows, trading old cards I have, maybe going on TCG Player, buying a few penny cards that I need. But besides that, definitely maybe one of my autograph stuff too. And as Alexis said, just meeting the people is always great. Having a conversation with them, just even about random stuff, like whether that be just what they're wearing. I'll be like, I like your shirt, and then they talk about their shirt. Like, it's cool.
For the people who might not know, because like we also talked about this earlier when you brought up her name, I was like about to look it up online, but then you said, oh, it's the clay Pokemon art. And those cards, I've seen them a lot online with really just like people being a fan of that style. And it is something a lot different. So it makes them, even though they might be common or uncommon cards, even though I want to say there is like a Drapion V card.
There's some that are expensive. Mm-hmm. I'm on the hunt for a Venusaur Snivy card. It's like, I found one at a show. It was a PSA 10. I was like,
expensive.
I don't need it even graded. I need it just raw. It can be beat up too.
But it just proves that, some things they don't have to have, a monetary value to them, like an experience, and they don't have to be rare, such as, a common or uncommon card for it to, make us smile. And I know for me, I have a huge collection from a kid and on for Pokemon cards and whatnot, but like my most expensive cards aren't my favorite. It's like I have a Delcat EX from like the Generation 3 era that I just bought at like a card stop that I went by on a way to an event that I was emceeing that day. And for $30, it brought me joy.
Yeah.
So, and it's on my shelf.
That's what it's all about.
Like even like going to the card shows myself, I almost every time I bring my nieces with me because they love Pokemon and they love collecting and playing the card game with their older brother. But like just like buying them cards, I'm like, oh, it just makes me feel good. It's a feel good feeling that, and like I think that's really the driving force behind PokeCon is like that. I'm like, I want to push that feeling more towards other families and like have the impact that I'm feeling, have that happen to others.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're going to come back after a short break, which for us is going to be just a few seconds, but for you, it's going to be a little bit longer. So stay with us. And we are back. So for the two of our guests, Alexis and Nick, as we've been talking about, if you're maybe just joining us, if you're on our live stream, they are hosting PokeCon, which is not PokeaCon because there's no accent over it, but eventually I will remember that in my head perfectly. So just when it comes to the two of you, we kind of already talked about this, but tell me, did you ever think that, maybe when you're younger or young adults ever think about running a card event of your own? Or what was your first interaction with seeing something like this?
Well, me personally, I've always when I was younger, I've always would buy toy. I've always been a collector, so I'd buy figures and maybe sell them and then buy a different figure with that money. So I never exactly envisioned maybe running a show until I've started working in that scene a lot more over the past couple of years, meeting the agents, meeting these personalities and celebrities that showing that they like to do it, and we could do it. It's just some people think things are out of reach, or but it's really not. You just have to push for it and just do it. Nike.
And Alexis, I know you two work together, but is there anything that you want to add to that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just pretty much the same thing, honestly. I've been going to cons since before I've even been even anywhere near this business, and I just love it. I loved nerdy stuff, like I said, growing up, and I never thought that I would be doing this or in this field, and it's just been really fun, and I do really enjoy the connections that we've made, and yeah, it's pretty much the same answer as Nick.
Maybe this is kind of a simple answer here, but what's something that you've seen at these other cons that you've went to, rather that be not a card con, but, maybe Comic-Con or whatever the case, and what's something that you've seen positive from there that you really wanted to take and emulate at this one that you're having?
I think it's not even on the show specifically, but it's really the vendors that make the experience of the show. I was saying, I take my nieces and they'll ask my nieces their favorite Pokemon, and the one is Piplup and the other one is Eevee, and the vendor will look through their cards and be just give it to them for free. And the Piplup one is a little harder sometimes because not as easy as find as Eevee's, but vendors have given my one niece that loves Piplup a $5 Piplup card, and I'm let me give you some money for this, that, and they're no, this is what it's all about, and it's that's the greatest takeaway. And just in general, the card show, just what they do, other card shows, bringing that to the community is always great, I think, and give something for families to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And building those, those vendor relationships, what is that like? I know, like you said, you've been to these other conventions, and we're going to keep harping that on over and over again, right? But, making sure that, this is somebody that you'd want there, and they have the mindset that you kind of have, which seems to be very strong with, like I said, planning all these other shows before your first show's even out, which I think is commendable. But, what's that process like of getting those vendors in? And
Yeah, I mean, some of them are just, like we've said, people we've known or connections we've made. Other ones are just us going to other card shows, other cons, and walking around, talking to people, handing out our flyers, explaining what we do, asking what they do. We reach out to a lot of people on social media. We're big social media people. But it's pretty much a lot of me and Nick like to just go and talk to people. We just like to talk and make the connections. Even if it's somebody who might not be interested in the show, they might offer something down the road, or
or they might not,
they don't have to offer
someone
anything. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I'd say something.
Especially with the meeting people, we do want to get more to totally sidetrack, but more into cosplaying and stuff, and totally welcome to people cosplaying and dressing up for the event, even if it's not even specific Pokemon characters or anything.
We actually, just from going to a few cons ourselves, we made a connection with somebody who does professional cosplaying, and just making that friendship, Nick's reached out, and
she's be coming to the event. I don't want to say anything until it's confirmed.
Yeah,
but she's a great cosplayer, and she knows some of her friends want to come, and so before it's confirmed. But yes, definitely cosplay and all that is welcome as well.
I'm not going to throw out a name either here, but I know there is a famous TikTok cosplayer who has moved to the Albany area. And not to say that's your person, but from just being somebody who's chronically online at times, I have an inkling there. But, we've talked a lot about, the Pokemon cards obviously is the focus here. Obviously, it's PokeCon, right? And then the other merchandise that you're going to be having. Talk about the range from, sealed products to the graded cards, and, obviously you're not the one setting the prices, right? You're putting the space up for vendors to come and encouraging them, and also possible people who are going to be buying or spending their money. But what do we see there from what people are selling, and maybe some of the price points for their products?
I don't know exactly what people are going to be charging on stuff come the day of the event, because they could say one thing, but then the day of the event they could say something else.
Yeah, it's not up to you, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's really not up to me. We are just giving them the space. But we hope that everyone is fair price. I mean, from what I've seen at the shows that I go to and a lot of these vendors that I know, everybody's pretty fair price, and they're always negotiable. Like, they'll always work with you. And that's really what it's all about, I think.
From being somebody who used to buy cards a lot, and maybe this, I saw this as kind of a blessing in disguise, but when Pokemon cards got very popular, there's the EV set, the Prismatic Evolution that we talked about before we came in here, but it became so hard to find Pokemon cards, and also at the price that your Walmarts and your Targets were selling them. And now, like, it's gotten a tiny bit better. I've gone to Target recently and, like, oh my God, there's a couple boxes here. Like,
There's
I can grab my two.
Yeah.
But it gives people a chance. Events like these, like, there is that haggling aspect and there is that trading aspect. But ultimately, like you said, you can't control the prices of the people there, and you can only hope that they can instill a positive and healthy environment. But we're seeing, with these cards, we have the collectors and people who have money and don't mind spending hundreds of dollars or, double, triple MSRP, right, on these boxes and these packs. And you also have the kids and, the more casual collectors who are like, or myself, where I'm like, I will keep my hands away and I'm saving money. But, maybe you too, if you'd like to share your thoughts and feelings on, like, the current card market. I know you're more the collector of Pokemon cards, Nick, but maybe as somebody who collects, what you see and what you feel from, buying at stores or anything like that.
I think it's great just in general for, like, the culture and, like, the community of Pokemon to, like, have such a surge of interest. Obviously, the prices are insane, and I'm not a fan of, like, the crazy prices, but, like, that's going to happen with anything. We saw it with Labubus this summer. Like, Labubus got crazy expensive.
Yeah.
But obviously, that bubble popped way faster.
Yeah.
But me personally, I do buy packs when I find them at the store and stuff, but I'm usually not a guy to pay, like, over market price for them.
Casual collector, yeah.
I'm a casual, or I'm, like, very specific on what I want.
Yeah, we use, like, TCG Player, which is, like, the website for, like, market price. Like, it just pretty much, it's, like, just tells you the market price of everything. So, like, kind of just knowing what stuff should be costly.
Yeah. And even though, some of my favorite, like, my favorite is those seeing, like, for me personally, I love seeing when my cards get more expensive. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like,
right. And you already own it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this card's like an extra $10, and then I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll go to the show and I'll trade this card.
Exactly.
Like,
for a vendor card.
Yeah.
There is that aspect of these older cards that you've had when before it got so huge in price that, oh my, this card that I have is now worth money.
Yeah.
I've had cards from, I think it's like the Celebration set from X and Y, like the Sylveon card, like, jumped up, and I remember when it was decently cheap back in the day, and it's like, I like what you said. It's nice to see that here is this franchise that is gotten so big and, like, almost universally enjoyable by many people, and for better or worse, we seemingly hear more on the worse side though that these scalper prices or the higher prices have been the result of it, but hopefully it can fade over, and it's good to just focus on the positive that at least it's grown so much as, like, a hobby that so many people have enjoyed it, and I think that's a silver lining there to really harp in on.
Yeah, because that's, like, even me personally, that's the nostalgia of it, is, like, because even I had a break of, like, collecting Pokemon for a couple of years after, like, in high school, to be honest. It was, like, in high school, because then back in college, I was like, oh, I want Pokemon cards, and that's what I started getting with my friends in college. But, like, it's the nostalgia of it that I think always brings people back. Like, it's, like, ingrained in, like, pop culture nowadays. Even worldwide, I would say it's ingrained in pop culture.
Not that I'm, like, a huge Pokemon collector, but I think, like, for me, like, I'd rather go into the store and get, like, a pack at, like, regular price and open it and have, like, this crazy card inside of it. Like,
it's the fun.
Yeah.
It's almost like a game in itself.
Yeah.
Even though it's the trading card game, right?
Right.
And but even at MSRP when you're buying Pokemon cards, and I think, once again, it's another thing we've mentioned before we came into this wonderful room, but you can get cards cheaper online, the single cards, and they're the real cards. But yes, you do have the chance of pulling more
Yeah.
valuable cards, and it's also the fun. And it's
hunting
that,
of it,
that
yeah.
serotonin of just opening it up and hoping
Like
for
I
the
pulled
best.
a bubble Mew.
She did
Who
pull a
would have
bubble
thought?
Mew one
I didn't
time.
even know what it was at the
It
time.
is in it's in one of the pictures here. There it is.
Yeah, that's
You
not
can
ours,
see
but
it.
she
No.
did
It's by
pull one.
Labubu. It's just
Yeah.
it's just a graded one.
I pulled it. I didn't even know it was a good card.
It was the video got a good amount of views.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
It's funny because the art on some of these cards, they can be so silly and just fun. And like the bubble Mew, I know it's really small on the screen there, but if you look at it, it's just like it's some line art and it's
cute.
just a shiny Pokemon. But
Actually,
what I love
it's
about
not
it.
shiny.
Oh, yeah.
So in the movie, Mew is in a bubble, like underwater, and when he's in the bubble, it's
He
blue.
looks blue? Okay.
Yes, and then he comes out from underwater and he's pink again.
it's interesting. But it is the shiny set though. That's odd.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
That's what I love
seen
about
some
it,
facts
though.
about that online.
Okay.
I was like, because I was
I'm
like,
not the
oh,
I'm
I
not
thought
the
it was just
bubble
shiny.
expert.
I was like, I guess it's just a bubble.
I love the art. I'll be like opening
Mm-hmm.
up packs like just for like our videos and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. And he's like, that card's nothing. And I'm like, I know, but it's like the card's pretty. Its art is
Yeah.
so pretty.
I mean, yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah,
though,
Yeah,
too.
no,
you know,
yeah.
cards at the same rarity have a wide variety of prices, and
Yeah.
that's up to the player base, your Charizards or whatever. But you know,
Yeah,
Delcatty's cheap. I'm happy that Delcatty's cheap. Well, before we go though, I want to give you a chance if you want to plug anything else about the event and tickets and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so it's on Sunday, November 23rd. It runs from 11 to 4. I think we're offering a code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for any of the viewers watching right now, use code NEWS10 and you'll receive a buy one get one free ticket. So let's say you buy a ticket to our show on November 23rd, you can get a free ticket for your friend the same day, or you can buy a ticket, you get a free ticket to our Christmas show on December 20th. So take advantage of that. This is for the viewers here. And yeah, just make sure to follow us on social media, PokeCon. And I hope to see you guys at the show. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great experience.
We're
Do have
gonna
some
be there.
surprises and stuff in store.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't want to miss out
Make
on
sure
it.
to come out, say hi to us, and if you're a vendor, grab a table at one of our future shows. And we're super excited to bring this to Albany and wherever else we can bring it to, and it's going to be a really good time.
Yeah. And of course, just a disclaimer, you know, this isn't a sponsored segment or anything like that, but obviously, like they said, they've shared the code, and that will be spelled NEWS, the numbers 10, just like on our logo and our socials and all that sort of fun stuff. But, you know, it's great to have them on the show with us, and, you know, why not share some discounts here and get you a chance to enjoy the event. So hopefully, maybe I'll come down and maybe we'll see you there and take some fun. But once again, just thank you for the three of you for coming down and spending
you
some
for
time with
having
me.
us.
Yeah,
I really
thanks for having
appreciate
us.
it. And once again, if I pull up the flyer, even though it's just there, it is Sunday, November 23rd, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Oh.
And I'm sure
23rd.
Numbers
I'm
are
sure
hard.
we'll share some more when they have their other events coming up, even if they're
Absolutely.
the farther away ones. We'd love to still have you on.
Yeah, we'd
Yeah.
love that.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
We'll catch you on the next time. Thanks for watching Bits and Boards today, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you next time.
See ya.